That evening, I leaned in to hug my wife. Just a small gesture, a quiet attempt to close the widening gap between us. But before my arms even reached her, she stepped out of range. "Don't touch me," she snapped. No hesitation. No warmth. Only cold. I froze, hands suspended awkwardly in midair. The silence that followed weighed more than any fight we'd ever had. It hadn't always been like this. Claire once ran straight into my arms the moment I walked through the door. I'd hold her close, she'd bury her face in my chest, and for a moment everything felt right. But lately, everything felt wrong. She stopped cooking with me. She started sleeping way over on her side of the bed. And every time I asked what was going on, the answer never changed: "I'm just tired." That night, I didn't press her. I simply nodded and walked away, pretending her rejection didn't cut as deep as it did. But something inside me cracked. You can't love someone who's already stopped feeling. The next morning, Claire was in the kitchen, calmly drinking coffee like nothing unusual had happened. "Can I have your card?" she asked flatly, eyes glued to her phone. "My card?" "Yeah. I need to buy a few things." Her tone wasn't a question, it was an assumption. I looked at her for a moment, and in that stillness, old memories surged back. Dinners I paid for, trips she organized, bills I covered, all while she drifted away from me emotionally. A strange calm settled over me. I gave a faint smile. "You told me not to touch you," I said. "So don't touch my money either." Her head snapped up. "What did you just say?" "You heard me," I replied, taking a sip of coffee. "If affection is off limits, then so is convenience." For the first time in months, real surprise flashed across her face. Then anger. "Are you serious right now, Ryan?" "Completely." She let out a bitter laugh. "You're unbelievable. I just needed groceries." "Then use your own card," I told her quietly. "Oh wait, you don't have one, do you?" She slammed her cup down and stormed off. I stared at the coffee ring left behind, a perfect brown circle on the white counter. A tiny symbol of everything that had spoiled between us. All day, her words echoed in my mind. "Don't touch me." It wasn't just rejection. It was disdain, the kind that grows when love turns into obligation. That night, she didn't come home until close to midnight. I didn't ask where she'd been. I was done begging for honesty. But when she walked past me toward the bedroom, a faint, unfamiliar, musky scent lingered in the air, one that wasn't hers. I sat there, staring at the blank TV screen, my reflection barely visible. I didn't need to check her phone. I didn't need to interrogate her. The truth hovered in the air, clinging like cheap cologne. I lay awake long after she drifted off, listening to her breathing, wondering how long she'd been pretending. Somewhere between hurt and resentment, a plan formed, not out of revenge, but understanding. If she didn't want my touch, then she wouldn't need anything else from me, not my support, not my card, not my life. The next morning, I got up early, brewed some coffee, packed a small duffel bag, and left a note on the counter with just 3 words. "Don't wait up." By the time Claire woke, I was already gone. She called once. Then twice. By the third call, I was already on the highway, the city shrinking in the rearview mirror as I let the phone ring untouched. I didn't have a destination, just the urge to escape the house that had turned into a museum of silence. I checked into a small roadside hotel with peeling wallpaper and a wheezing coffee maker. And for the first time in months, I felt something close to peace. Later that afternoon, I finally picked up one of her calls. "Where are you?" she demanded. "Out," I answered. "Out where?" "You can't just disappear, Ryan." "I didn't disappear, Claire," I said calmly. "You did. Months ago." She went quiet. I could almost hear her heartbeat speeding up. "What are you talking about?" "I tried to hug you," I said softly. "You told me not to touch you. But somehow, you still wanted my card, my patience, my time, everything except my heart." Silence. Then her voice softened, a tone I hadn't heard in weeks. "Ryan, I just needed space." "Space is fine," I replied. "But you built an entire life in that space without me." She hung up. For the next few days, I stayed away, working remotely, hitting the gym, walking near the lake. Strange how peaceful loneliness becomes when you stop fighting it. On the fourth day, she showed up at the hotel. I saw her through the glass doors, same blue coat, eyes unsettled. "Can we talk?" she asked. I nodded and walked her outside to a bench. "I'm sorry," she began. "I never meant to hurt you. I didn't know how to feel anymore." "About me?" I asked, "or about someone else?" Her lips parted, a tiny flinch giving away more truth than any confession. "You don't have to lie," I whispered. I smelled him. Tears gathered in her eyes. "It's not what you think," she murmured. I almost laughed. "It never is." She reached for my hand. I pulled away. Shock flickered in her eyes, the same shock I felt the morning she told me not to touch her. "Hurts, doesn't it?" I said softly. She wiped her cheek. "Please, don't leave me." For a brief moment, I almost gave in. Love doesn't vanish instantly. It lingers like an echo of what once was. But then every cold night, every ignored message, every time she turned her back replayed in my mind. "I'm not leaving," I said carefully. "I'm just done being invisible." I stood up and handed her a small envelope from my jacket. "What's this?" "My card," I said. "It's what you wanted, right?" Confused, she opened it. Inside was a replacement debit card, cut cleanly in two. "For me," she whispered. "Just me?" "No," I said quietly. "For freedom. Mine." She stared at the broken plastic, one last symbol of a marriage that had ended long before that morning. I walked away. She didn't call after me. The wind was cold, but honest. That night, I signed a lease for a small apartment. Quiet. Simple. Mine. No reminders of her. No fading perfumes. Just space to breathe. A week later, she texted me. "I miss you." I didn't answer. Some messages aren't meant to be replied to. They're meant to close the door. And this time, I finally did.